Hey guys, well, somebody sent me this. I don't normally do these sorts of videos. I'm hoping to not make this a regular thing, but somebody sent this to my Facebook page. They actually PM'd me this Tumblr page, apparently thinking that I'm going to rip into Doug on it, and I might to a point, because this is somebody's response via Tumblr about Doug Walker's latest video where he's whinging and bitching because he isn't making money on his YouTube videos anymore because he doesn't know what fair use fucking is. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, and I'm really not in the mood to listen to people simplify fair uses. He did a review, thus it's fair use. No, I'm not even going to entertain that shit, and that's not what I'm here for. But basically, this is a video from Doug that has been making the rounds. I probably don't have to play it. I really don't want to play it either, for that matter, just because I want to keep this video kind of short, and I've got a lot to say. So this starts with, I guess, a note or a comment, whatever the hell they call it on Tumblr, from somebody called What We Had to Watch. The comment says, "Signal boost, because this is more than a little scary." I don't know what signal boost means. I don't come to Tumblr, like, ever. Is that basically like begging more people to see it? Is that what signal? I don't fucking know. I will never understand Tumblr, I swear to God. And then the article goes, "Sorry, I'm not sorry, but this guy is a thief and a liar, and I'm disappointed to see so many people defending him. And here's why. The sources are at the bottom. Sources I should mention that I have not clicked on, because there's just, let me scroll down a bit, I'll show you. Look at all the fucking sources. And most of these are just other Tumblr pages and the copyright.gov fair, use page. A lot of you guys should probably click on that before you start leaving comments about, oh, well, fair use is this. No, fair use is this. This link right here. Do me a favor, click on that, go read it before you leave comments about that. Anyway, again, this has nothing to do with fair use directly. Just, I need to say a few things about the actual article itself here. This is a guy who for years paid his people and artists in exposure. And while that is rather true, that's also true about damn near every other website on the internet. I'm talking ones that had large groups of YouTube users or just internet users in general. I don't believe that they paid the people over at Reviewtopia. I don't think they paid the people over at Normal Boots. I'm not even sure if Normal Boots is still a fucking site. You don't pay your talent on those sites. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now, even YouTube networks, any of them, Full Screen, Maker, none of them just pay you straight up because they want to pay you. They are paying you in fucking exposure, exactly like Doug does. But also they pay you in ad revenue, and even then, they have to take a large cut of it. And I'm going to give Doug credit, at least as far as I know, he wasn't taking a cut of everybody's check from Blip. Whatever the hell you made was yours, and you could thank the site for getting you views. This point really doesn't have this whole point here about he for years has paid his people and artists in fucking exposure. So what? So has almost everybody else. God, it feels so weird having to defend Doug, but holy shit, that point just, wow. Do me a favor here. What the hell was the name of this Tumblr user again? The Uncomfortable Truths of Life. Yeah, I guess it was right up there in the corner the whole time, even as I was scrolling. Do me a favor and name me a website similar to Channel Awesome that does pay its people by the week or by the video. You won't be able to find one that lasted any length of time because they don't fucking exist. Okay? Alright, the next point. This is a guy who moved to Blip TV in the first place because it would allow him to avoid copyright claims. That much is incredibly true. That is the big reason why Doug moved to Blip. That is why a lot of people went from YouTube to Blip, because they thought that they'd be able to circumvent copyright claims. And then a lot of these companies wised up and started going after Blip, and, well, Blip is now no longer a thing. So, go figure. This is a guy who tells racist jokes, rape jokes, and suicide jokes for laughs. So fucking what? Let me let me just start off here. You started the article talking about how he's a thief and a liar. Okay? So that should be what every one of these points are. And then you go into how he tells racist jokes, rape jokes, and suicide jokes for laughs. That has nothing to do with him being a thief or a liar. That is just straight up character fucking assassination. It has zero to do with the point you wanted to make. I'm still trying to ponder why the fuck you even bothered to mention it. And let me explain why there isn't a problem with this. Basically, what this person is complaining about is that Doug's sense of humor is incredibly dark. And I'm going to applaud Doug for that, because I never thought that the two of us would have something in fucking common. If the fact that we both have a dark sense of humor is something that we have in common, that's awesome. Granted, I don't tell a lot of racist jokes. I don't tell a ton of rape jokes. I do happen to indulge in suicide jokes every so often, but I do laugh at all three. Racist, rape, and suicide jokes, as long as the fucking things are funny. So, yeah, I don't see what having a dark sense of humor has to do with being a thief or a liar. And I don't think that Doug has tried to hide the fact that he laughs at these sorts of jokes. Has he? Like, has he? I mean, I really don't follow his videos. Has Doug ever tried to hide this fact? Please, anyone who regularly watches his stuff, please tell me, because I'm curious. Next point, this is a guy who raised $89,757 for an Indiegogo campaign 2.5 years ago. Apparently writing 2.5 years ago was a bit of a challenge, and has yet to fulfill it. There are only 11 episodes of one show released. The other shows haven't seen the light of day. And they only did that because Indiegogo started investigating them for fraud. Even someone who appeared on the show thinks it's bad and that they screwed people with the Indiegogo. Okay, again, this one here is somewhat of a valid point. The fact that they have not made good on the promises of that campaign, the fact that they're 2.5 years out and they've turned in almost none of what was promised, that is rather, damning, okay? So, that much there I can say that this person's got at least somewhat of a point. However, here's where I'm going to put in a counterpoint on this. Have we gotten any kind of updates from Doug or anyone else at Channel Awesome about the status of those other shows? Because I know they were going to do some comic book show or some other kind of shit. Is there any forecast for that? Have they released any statements as to when that shit may be coming out? If so, then this point is dead, because as long as there's talk of it, as long as there's proof that they're actually working on it, you don't have anything to really bitch about. However, if Doug and his crew have not said a thing about any of these shows, then we might have a problem. Okay? That's just... Goddamn, it really does feel weird having to defend Doug. It really does. Never thought I would have to do this, but this page just... Holy fuck, it just bothered me so much. Alright, so, that point, it might be valid, but we need more proof, and I'm not about to go through all those fucking sources to try to see if there's anything to back up if they really have been potentially frauding their donors. And if they are, again, that is absolutely disgusting. I'm wondering why not as many people make a big deal of the fact that other people with similar campaigns have been 2.5 years late, haven't turned in everything that they promised Anita. Yeah, I just fucking said it. Anyway, who cares? Moving on to the next point. This is a guy who fired a woman for not being at her computer exactly when he wanted to talk to her. Now, that seems a little bit... that kind of seems like we might not have all of the detail there. Allow me to explain. Doug runs a website, and he deals with talent on said website. And this is talent from all over the world. At least at one point it was all over the world. I don't know who the fuck's all on the site anymore. They might all just be from the US at this point. I do not know. But here is the thing. That means that all meetings between him and these people would have to be teleconferences, probably via Skype or other such, online messaging services. Because of that, this story here about how he fired a woman for not being at her computer exactly when he wanted to talk to her, this sounds like he may have been scheduling a meeting with her, whether it be for potentially potentially giving her more fucking exposure, or trying to set up, a schedule, a proper business meeting, which was set to happen at a specific time X. Let's say 10 a.m. Let's just say 10 a.m. for the sake of argument. If you're not there at 10 a.m., then you are late to that meeting, and there are certain businesses which do have a zero tolerance policy on tardiness. I don't know if Doug's website officially is one of those. If it is, then this story really doesn't hold any fucking water. The person was told to be there at a certain time in order to take part in a business meeting. Again, I'm going to assume this was a business meeting and this wasn't just Doug randomly telling somebody, I just sort of want to shoot the shit with you at 10 a.m. I need you to be there. And then when they weren't there, fired them. It was probably something that had to do with business. And unless you get a hold of them and tell them that you are going to be late, it's going to be considered essentially like a no call, no show, a tardy, whatever the hell your business may call it, which would be grounds for termination. So, but if he's only paying you an exposure, then he's not really firing you. He's just removing you from the site. You see, being fired would mean that you're not getting paid anymore. If he wasn't paying people in cash, then you're not really working for him. You're just an independent contractor on his site, meaning that really you were just in breach of the contract. He terminated the contract, thus you're not on the site anymore. God, it feels so fucking weird defending Doug, but god damn it. Sometimes it just has to be done. Okay, this is a guy who posted that he was pleased to announce people were leaving the company, couldn't even spell all of their names right. Okay. Dude, do you have any idea how many times websites have had to post, company websites have had to post about how certain employees are leaving or how certain employees have been terminated, and there's that slight chance that there may have been a spelling error in their fucking name? I am talking about companies which are bigger than Channel Awesome and ones that are a hell of a lot smaller. It could easily have just been a typo. And if you don't believe me about the happy that people are going thing. Okay, guy who was posted that he was pleased to announce people were leaving the company. I want you to look at every time that WWE has to let a wrestler go, and they have that little like boilerplate message. They are pleased to announce that they have severed ties with this person, and they wish them the best in all of their future fucking endeavors. It sounds incredibly happy. That's probably what Doug did here. The only thing which you would have to really bitch about is that he misspelled their names. And even then, who fucking cares? Oh, wah, it was a misspelling on what I'm going to assume was a very low circulated press fucking release, or a message on a message board or a message on the site that was probably seen by next to nobody. Who fucking cares? I think it actually is more honest that he at least posted something instead of just letting it all just boil, instead of just firing them quietly and then not saying shit about it and just hoping that nobody notices that this one person out of what used to be a team of like 50 is suddenly gone. So, what have we got here? This is a guy who, more than once, has fired people without telling them. What? Okay, once more, we kind of have to come into this whole, if they weren't paying you, then you weren't really hired, were you? At that point, then you were just an independent contractor who was getting paid in exposure. He has the right to terminate your contracted status at any time and just not tell you. Also, because it's his website, he can put whatever the fuck he wants on there. If he suddenly, out of the clear blue, just doesn't want somebody on there anymore, well, that is just too fucking bad. He can totally pull it off, unless he has a contract in place that says that person was guaranteed exposure for a set amount of time. That argument has no fucking bearing. Oh my god. Okay. Next point. This is a guy who routinely hangs his employees out to dry or just flat out doesn't support them. Well, you see, once more, the only thing he was paying them in essentially was exposure on his site. As long as he was allowing them to put videos on the site, he was doing exactly what he had to do. He was doing the bare minimum. If somebody fucks up and his site could possibly take a massive hit from it, he has every right to hang them out to fucking dry. Okay, that is just a common business practice, okay? If somebody happens to do something incredibly fucking stupid and it may damage the reputation of the company has every right to leave that person out to fucking die alone. Jesus H. You know, I honest to God thought, guys, I was going to be agreeing with more of these points because I only read like the first half, but holy shit. Okay, this is a guy who fired, as opposed to regular fired. No, this was fired. Oh God, I really should have read this first. This is a guy who fired the only person the fans could reach out to the day after she had surgery. She worked that day too. Wait, but if she worked that same day, if she worked the same day that she had the surgery, and the fans were reaching out to her, then did he fire her afterwards, after the fans had, knowledge that she had surgery and could reach out to her? I mean, because it would have been different if he would have fired her before the surgery, thus stopping any and all fan outreach. But of course, everybody should have their own like Twitter page or their own like Facebook fan page or something, giving fans of that person plenty of opportunity to be able to reach out. In fact, I can tell you right now, even I have a Facebook page for my viewers, and even I have a Twitter account, and I'm essentially nobody. So, it's not my fault that this person couldn't be asked to have those sorts of avenues, or maybe a Tumblr page or something else open, so that way the fans could reach out to that person. And it's not Doug's fault that her fans are too stupid to look for these options. Doug probably had a reason to fire her, or fired her. And I don't think any of us are ever going to truly know the reason why. You would have to ask Doug. And frankly, it's nobody's business as to why Doug fires anyone on his site. It is his choice. Well, fires them or fires them. God, I just absolutely adore that fucking typo. All right, next one. This is a guy who not only tried to spy on an employee, but didn't apologize for it. Okay, that's definitely scummy, but what was that point again at the very top? Is a liar and a thief. So, again, I don't see what this has to do with being a liar or a thief. This, similar to the racist rape and suicide joke thing, is just more character fucking assassination than it is anything else, and it doesn't prove the point which you are attempting to make. Is it fucking scummy? Yes, it most certainly is a real douchey, scummy move. However, it's not really proof that he's a liar or a thief. It's just proof that he's a dick. And there's a world of difference between just being a dick and being a liar and a thief. Okay, perhaps maybe if the what the hell is that Tumblr page again? God, it is such a stupid name. It is the uncomfortable truths of life. Perhaps maybe if that pinhead knew the difference between being a dick and being a liar and a thief, they probably wouldn't have posted that, or they would have made it like a separate article to just sum up exactly why Doug is a fucking scumbag. I don't know. Okay, YouTube was wrong to limit his channel for a single strike, but this guy shouldn't be the poster child for that movement for more transparency. He probably shouldn't be. But then again, YouTube probably also was looking at his other videos and was seeing other strikes pending, so they decided to go ahead. But don't they always limit you after a single strike? Isn't that how they do it with everybody? Because I know that Sargon had his channel limited after a single strike. I know that Teal Deer had his channel limited after a single strike. This is how these people function. This is how YouTube does it. After a single strike, your shit is limited for, I think it's like 6 months. So this wasn't something exclusive or new to Doug. So you're trying to make it sound like it's like an exclusive thing to... God damn it. Did you even think before you posted this? Wait, fired. Never mind. No, you fucking didn't. But do we think that Doug should be the poster child for transparency amongst YouTube users? No, because Doug wants to hide behind fair use, even though he doesn't know what fair use means. Seriously, guys, if you've got the time, go to this page, read it. Read it thoroughly. There's also a page I found on, I think it's called BitLaw, and you can find shit there also that gives you all the necessaries about what is and isn't fair use. Please just give that a read. He's a bad guy. I'm not totally sure. I've never actually met him, so I can't say if he himself is a bad guy. I just know that I don't like his content. There's a world of difference there. And that copyright claim is probably correct. It probably is. But again, you haven't proven anything in here. You haven't proven that the man is a liar. You haven't proven that the man is a thief. Or correction, you may have in like 1 or 2 points, and then you bury it with mountains of other bullshit that has nothing to do with being a liar or a thief or having anything to do with his fucking copyright claim or having to do with the video in fucking question. Oh my God. And the worst part about all of this, absolute worst part, is somebody sent me this. I read it. I felt the need to make this video. And I had to defend a man whose content I cannot fucking stand. Because you wanted to assassinate his fucking character. And that is nothing short of fucking shameful.